Applications. Ecological principles have wide range of applications in real-world scenarios as they provide framework for understanding the interaction between living organisms and their environment. Some example of how ecological principle can be applied in real-world scenarios. Number 1. Conservation and restoration. Ecological principles can be applied to conservation and restoration of ecosystems by identifying the key ecological processes that are essential for maintaining ecosystem health and function. This may involve efforts to reduce habitat destruction and fragmentation, control invasive species, and promote biodiversity through restoration efforts. Number 2. Agriculture and land management. Ecological principle can also be applied to agriculture and land management by promoting sustainable practices that minimize negative impact on the environment. For example, crop rotation and cover cropping can help to maintain soil fertility and reduce erosion, while agroforestry can help to promote biodiversity and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Number 3. Climate change mitigation and adaptation. Ecological principle can also be applied to efforts to mitigate and adapt to climate change by promoting practices that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and increase the resilience of ecosystem to climate change impacts. This may involve efforts to promote renewable energy, reduce deforestation and land use change, and promote the restoration of degraded ecosystems. Number 4. Urban planning and design. Ecological principle can also be applied to urban planning and design by promoting the integration of green spaces and biodiversity into urban environment. This may involve efforts to promote the use of green infrastructure such as green roofs and rain gardens to reduce storm water runoff and promote biodiversity in urban areas. Number 5. Environmental impact assessment. Ecological principle can also be applied to environmental impact assessments by providing a framework for assessing the potential impact of human activities on ecosystem and identifying ways to mitigate these impacts. This may involve efforts to assess the impact of large-scale infrastructure projects such as dams and highways on wildlife and ecosystems and identify ways to minimize these impacts. And these are just a few examples of how ecological principles can be applied in real world scenarios. By applying these principles to various sectors, it is possible to promote sustainable practices that balance human needs with need to protect and conserve the natural world.